Hello everyone, welcome to my channel LearnIT. Today I am going to start on the advanced part of ServiceNow. Today my discussion will be on tables in ServiceNow. These are the topics which I will cover in this session today. So let's move further. So what is table? A table is a collection of records in the database. Each record corresponds to a row in a table and each field on a record corresponds to a column on that table. Applications uses tables and record to manage data and processes, such as incident, problem, and CMDB. Table can extend other tables, creating parent tables and child tables. So let's talk about what is core table, custom table, or base table. So core table is like any table which is existing in the default ServiceNow instance, that is called baseline instance. And what is custom table? Any table that is created by an administrator or developer that doesn't exist in the baseline instance. What is base table? So any table that is a parent table but it is extended to other table but it is not extending any other table. So it is called a base table. As you can see in the picture, this is our base table, ServiceNow base system, which is not having a parent of its anyone. And if we can see, there could be a multiple child for this task table. So this is called core tables, which is already present in the system. And here are the tasks which is extending these all tables: incident, problem, change, and custom tables. So these are the tables which is created and which is not existing on the base system. Okay, so let's move further. So what is extend and extensible table? Suppose this is a parent table and these are all the child tables of this task. So these are multiple tables such as incident and problem, which is extended from task table. So task table will be parent for all those tables. So what all functionality you will be having on task table, that all will be migrating to child table as well. Whatever functionality, tables, fields, scripts, it will be migrated to all the child tables from task table. So schema map. So what schema map does is like it will display the details of tables and their relationship in a visual manner, which will easily access different parts of database schema. Schema map can also be printed directly from a browser. So this is really very interesting because if suppose we are having multiple tables as part of single table, so you can view like how we are extending the table and how we are utilizing the parent table for related child tables. So tables and columns. A table is a collection of records in the database. Each record corresponds to a row in a table. Each field on a record corresponds to a column on that table. Each table has its own schema map. Okay, so let's move further and see how table creation can be done. So administrator and application developers can create custom tables to store application data after you create a table. You can also modify field types and field labels, and role required for table creation is admin. Now platform application subscriptions include custom table entitlements. So custom tables have their subscription separately. So we will discuss subscription management as separate session. Today I will show you how to create table in ServiceNow instance. So this is my ServiceNow instance. Now I will redirect you to tables. So let me type tables here, and we can see under system definition we have tables and columns. We can select either of this. So let me select tables, and we can see the list of tables has been displayed here. So these are all the core table which is present in the system, and as well as core table also contains base tables, and the custom tables is not created right now because it will start with u underscore and we will search it using u underscore. We will not get any table right now. As you can see, no custom table is created in ServiceNow. So we will create that table. So let me show you what is a base table or core table. Core table I have already mentioned, and base table are those table which is not having any parent table of their own, but it is parent for multiple tables. Suppose there is a task table which is extended from incident, problem, change, task. Multiple tables are there in the system which is extended from task. So task table is a base table in ServiceNow. So there are multiple base table in ServiceNow. So as you can see here, new button is displayed. As soon as I will click on new button, you will get a display of form which is not completed right now, and I will show you what all details required to fill. So under label we will define a name of a table, demo table 1. So as you can see, I have defined a table name and I will click on name. So this name will be auto populated. As you can see, u underscore demo underscore table underscore 1. So u underscore denotes that this table is a custom table. Okay. And extends table, if we want to extend any table here, suppose there is a table B where I have to extend here, and we can utilize this field on that table. So I will show you that also how this extend table works. And you can see create module, mobile module is displayed here. So what module is like, suppose this is a system definition, this is a module, and this is the tables which is stored in object table. So it will be displayed like this. So let me add module to menu. We can add any module to this particular module using existing modules as defined here, and we can create new module as well. So I will create new menu name demo table 1. So it will be displayed this way, demo table 1, and under that we will find this table. So columns, we can create multiple columns here, like we can define any fields in the form. So I will tell you how we can define fields in this particular table sooner. And in control section we can find extensible live feed. So extensible is like this table can be extended from other table. So I will show you how this table can be extended in other table. So I will mark it as checked. So live feed, so live feed will capture the updates on particular record, whatever live feed is done as part of that particular record. And this auto number checkbox, so we can use this auto number to define a sequential identifying code which is made up of prefix of this particular table and a padding value and a base number. So you can see this prefix dem number is 1000 and number of digits is 7. So total 10 digit auto numbering will be created for this particular table. So I am marking it as unchecked for now. Create access controls, so we can create a access control for this particular table. As you can see, it is marked it as u demo underscore table. It denotes like this role containing as part of this particular table. So this role is generally created to provide access to this particular table. Okay, so these are ACLs which is required to provide, because what happens is like, suppose we want to restrict this table to particular user based on roles, so we can provide those user these roles. Application access, so application access is like from where we can access this particular table. We can access it from all application scope. We can create, read, update, delete from other scopes as well. So these are the options we can do. So currently out of the box can read is marked it as checked, and allow access to this table via web services. If suppose we have to use this table as part of web services, we can mark it as checked. And if we want configuration of this particular table using other tables, so we can mark it as checked and we can do the configuration from other tables. Let me submit it and see how this table is created. As we can see, our table is created. Now I will show you how we can create a column within this table. So let me double click here and insert a new column with the name field. Suppose I will add it as demo name, and I will select a type as a reference, and reference table as sys user. So this is the user table which I have added as part of this reference, and max length will be 40. Okay, now let me save it. So I have saved this particular table record. As you can see, one uh, demo name field is created within this table, and we can see there are a lot of related links which is provided here, and we can navigate from here as per like requirement, like what we have to fulfill, like design form layout list, show list, show schema map. So we can check here, there are a lot of options, and ACLs is created for this particular table, right? So you can see the show form button here. We can click on this show form, and you can see the form is displayed here. Okay, and we can select the number of users on this field. Now let us again see show list. I have clicked on show list, and currently no record is created right now, so nothing is displayed in this particular table. Okay, and now let's see the schema for this particular table. This is the schema which is created for this particular table. Currently it has no any relationship with other tables, so it will show only the columns of this particular table, and it will not show any other relationship. Okay, as you can see, all the fields which is created out of the box is covered, and which we have created custom, it is created on different color. Okay, so now let's go back to our table form, and let us try to create another table and check what is the behavior while extending this particular table. So let us try to create another table. I will go again to this table system definitions, and I will create a new table, that is the demo table 2, and this name will be auto populated. And what I will do is like I will use extends table with the table which I have created previously. So this is our table which I have created recently, so I have extended with this table. So now let me create it and see what happens. As you can see, the demo name field which I have created on parent table started displaying on current table, right? So it found very really interesting, right? Because if you want to use particular field table field, then you can display it in multiple tables just by extending this particular table. It's not required to create same field again and again to child tables, right? So we can show this form and see how this form looks for demo table 2. As you can see, this demo name field is created on demo table 1, but it is displayed on demo table 2. Why? Because this table is extending demo table 1. So now let us see the schema of this particular table and see how it looks. As you can see, the relationship is created with demo table 1. So this table is extending this table. Okay, you can see the value is passed here. The field which we have created in parent table is started reflecting on table 2. Okay, so this is the pictorial representation or visual representation of our tables in ServiceNow. Okay, so these are the information which is provided when we are making a relationship between two tables. So these are called schema map. Okay, so this sounds very really interesting. So now let's move further to our old tables and start creating some more fields and see how our table looks like, right? So let us move further and create column for this particular table. So one way I have shown you how to create a field on this particular table is from table columns section. Now other way we can create a table is from show form. I will click on this show form and this will start reflecting on my form. Okay, now what I will do is like I will click on configure form layout. Okay, now this is our form layout where demo name is already added. Now what I will do is like I will create one more field here like language. Okay, and I will be adding type as string. So there are multiple types which we can add. As you can see, there are multiple data types of this particular field. Like you can select date, time, true false, HTML field, video, workflow type field, reference type field, suggestion type field, table name. You can create any type of field values here, and let me add this field and see how it looks. So this field is added. Now our form looks like this. So let it load it. Yeah, you can see the language is added. Okay, and the field is added because I have added the type as a script, so it is added this form this way. Okay, now let me try and show you how we can create a field from form design. This is our form design, and here we can design our form according to our requirement. Suppose this is one column, a form view. Now let me create it form view divided into two columns. Okay, now I can create another field. I can drag and drop any type of field here. So I will select string field. Okay, now I will make a configuration properties change of this particular field. Suppose I will add as a type. Okay, now I will add type with data type as string. So we can type any string values here, and just I will like close it and save it. Okay, so now this field is completed. Now let us view our form, how our form looks. So let me reload this table and see how our form looks. Now you can see it is divided into two columns and type is added as a string field. Okay, so these are our features like how we can create a table and how we can create a field values inside ServiceNow system. And now we can see the configure, and we can go to our table from here using right click on header and going to configure and table. So we can go to this table and we can make the configuration change, what all changes is more required as part of this table, right? So this is the related list which is created: access control, labels, database index, table subscription configuration. Okay, so these are the ACLs which is created. These are the labels which is generated for this particular table. These are the database index which is generated for this particular table. And this is the subscription configuration. As we will add this particular table on subscription model. So that I will cover in separate session. So let's move further and check what all things are there available in this particular table things. Okay, now let us move to this table form again, and we can see the form is displayed in this way. Okay, now let us move to our list layout and see how we can add this particular fields which is there in the form. So we can click on show list and the list will be displayed. Now whatever field we have created is not displaying here. So what we can do is like we can click on personalized list and we can see this field which we have created, and this is, so I will click on OK, and like you will start displaying what all fields is created, like demo name, language, type. Okay, so these are all about tables creation setup in ServiceNow. So this is all about table creation. I have mentioned you here. Today my discussion will be on catalog items. This is one of the important topics which is used for most of the projects in ServiceNow generally. So let's move further and see what all things I would be covering in this session. So these are the things which I would be covering in my session today. So let's move further and see. So service catalog. Overall service catalog is made up of collection of discrete catalog items. Connecting user to IT services through service catalogs allows them to find information, submit request tickets. Service catalog is a user-friendly tool. It should be useful to both IT and non-IT staff. So service catalog generally consists of standard catalog items, record producers, order guides, content items. So let's move further. So types of catalog items. Service catalog offers a few type of catalog items. Basic service catalog item types include record producers, order guides, content items. Record producer is an alternative way of adding information such as incidents via the service catalog. Order guide is used to group multiple catalog items in one request. Content items. Catalog items which provide information instead of goods or services. Okay. So what is catalog items and record producer? So let's see a difference. What is the difference between those? So a catalog item can be a good or service. If something can be ordered by itself, it is a catalog item. For example, a new Dell server is a catalog item, as is a new executive desk. A record producer is a specific type of catalog item that allows end users to create task-based records, such as incident records from the service catalog. Use a catalog item to publish a service to your users. Add a service description, images, and a workflow to determine approval and fulfillment process for the catalog items. We use record producers to provide a better end user experience instead of using the regular task based form for creating records. So in catalog item, request creates RITM and it creates catalog task. But in record producer, we create task directly. So let's move further. So catalogs enable your organization to offer different sets of services to different teams within the organization, such as IT services, human resources, and facilities management. So catalog generally defines like the difference between IT catalog and human resource catalog, or marketing catalog or product catalog. That depends on organization to organization how many type of catalog they want to be created in the service now. Okay, so let's move further and see what is categories. So categories organize service catalog item into logical groups. Administrators and catalog administrators can create and configure categories, defining their characteristics and adding content such as catalog items to them. Categories can have a parent-child relationship, for example, IT and laptops. A child category is a subcategory of its parent category. Okay, so let's move further and see what is variables and variable sets. Service catalog variables capture and pass on information about choices a customer makes when ordering a catalog items. Variables help define the structure of a catalog item form that is displayed to the customer. Service catalog provides several types of variables which are also referred to as questions. Variables can be stored, accessed from multiple places, and passed between tasks in a process when fulfilling a request. They can be displayed on request item and catalog items form after an item has been ordered. Suppose if an item is ordered, you have some variables displayed on RATM level. You can display those variables in catalog task form as well. Okay, so what is variable set? Variable set allows you to create a collection of variables that can be reused across multiple catalog items and order guide. Use variable set saves time because you do not have to create same variable individually for many catalog items. So this is really a good benefit because lot of places we use same kind of fields like requested for. Also, when variables should be modified, you can modify the variable set and the changes are reflected across all the catalog items that are associated with the variable set. For example, a catalog administrator defines 10 catalog items for types of servers. The request process for all these items asks the same 5 questions using the same variables. So we can use this variable set on all those 10 catalog items. Okay. So let's move in ServiceNow and see how we can create catalog items, record producers. As you can see, I have logged into my personal instance. So I will show you where service catalog and catalog items are stored and how it looks in ServiceNow. So let me show you. So I will type service catalog and see there are multiple options or multiple modules displayed under service catalog section. As you can see, there is a catalog, catalogs, open records, catalog definitions, and under catalog definitions there are catalogs categories, dynamic categories, order guides, record producers, catalog items, and many more things you can see under service catalog. So I will show you how our service catalog looks as part of self-service, because generally catalog item is used for displaying for end users. So you will see how it looks. See, this is the service catalog, how it looks on backend UI for ITIL users. You can see there are categories like services, hardware, can we help you, software, desktop, office. So these are the service catalog displayed for ITIL users. If suppose same thing has used to be accessed through service portal. So in service portal we can access our catalog items using request something. If we click on request something, we can see there are multiple categories located here, and we can click on them and see what are all items are present as part of these particular categories. You can see under departmental services category there is one catalog item. Same it will be for all. As you can see here, you can find multiple catalog items as part of peripherals. So this way we can develop our catalog items and we can see here how it is displayed. So let us move back and see how it looks and how we create catalog items, categories, or order guides. I will show you how it happens. So under service catalog application module, we can find maintain items, maintain categories. So we can configure based on that. So let me click here, maintain. Under service catalog, we have maintain catalogs, maintain categories, maintain items, and as well as there are record producers. If I search using record producers, I will get record producers also, which I have created and which is created by other users. So let us move and see how we can create catalogs, categories, or items in ServiceNow. So let me click on maintain catalogs. As you can see, this is a catalog available like service catalog, resource, technical catalog, customer service catalog. So those are the catalog through which we can configure our catalog items or categories. Okay, so generally catalogs is configured under service catalogs, and maintain categories. We can create categories and display under this catalog. As I will show you under this service catalog, we have lot of categories or catalog items added. You can see there are 37 categories added under this service catalog. and catalog items involve 144. Those are categorized in 37 categories. So here we can display all the items which we are creating under service catalog section. So these are service catalog. And if we go to maintain categories, we will find all the categories for all the catalog items which is configured in the system. As you can see, these are the categories which is there. So if we open suppose any categories like services, I will see there will be lot of catalog items added to this particular category. So we can see there are a lot of category catalog items added as part of this particular categories. So we can create category also using new button here, and this is maintain items, where we can find list of all the catalog items which is present in the system. Okay, which we have created, which is created out of the box, or which is already available in the base instance. Okay, so let me redirect to record producer and see those catalog items also. So these are record producers which is created in the system for generating a task based record. You can see there are like 44 items created under record producers. Okay, so let's move further and see how I can create a catalog item. So I will type maintain and we will get multiple options to configure categories catalog items. So let me click on maintain items and click on new button, and we can see there are multiple options available to use here. Name under name we will write a catalog item name. Suppose I will write my catalog name as demo server. Okay, so demo server I have given a name, and I will select a catalog which I mentioned like grouping of catalog items to particular catalogs. So I will use a service catalog here. Okay, and under service catalog I will use one of the existing category. Let's see what are all categories are present. As you can see, there are multiple categories present here. Okay, and we will select any one of the categories. Suppose I am selecting a services category, and catalog is selected as service catalog. Okay, and owner is system administrator. We can select any owner here, so I am just removing it. And fulfillment automation level, we can select manual, semi automated, fully automated. And here we can provide short description, like I will provide short description demo server to use requesting access to this server. Okay, so this is our catalog item details which I have added, and we can add meta also. What meta does is, like, if suppose you want to search this catalog item in search category, so you can define your meta tags where this search can be configured for this particular catalog item. And in under process engine we can define our workflow execution plan. By default, execution plan will be set as default. We can create our own flow also. So let me remove this execution plan and move further. We can add icons or picture for this particular catalog items. Anything you can use here as an icon or a picture. At pricing level, we can define what is the price for this particular item. Suppose we are raising a request for iPhone. Suppose this item is created for iPhone, then we can define a price for that particular item, and we can define recurring price frequency, like it is considered as a maintenance fee. Recurring price frequency, we can define price also. And under portal settings is like, this is our service portal. This setting is available on this section of catalog items, like request method is order. By default it will be order. We can add to cart functionality will be disabled for this for service portal. We can hide quantity for service portal, hide delivery time for service portal. and we can hide wish list, attachment, mandatory attachment. We can hide all this for service portal. Okay, so this is our form which is required to fill for creating this catalog item. Okay, so let me try to save it and see what happens. As you can see, this catalog item is created for me. Okay, now let me click on try it and see how it is looking. So currently you can see this demo server is located under services and service catalog. We can see this is the short description and description of this particular item. So now let's configure the form, how we can add the variables on this particular catalog item. I have already mentioned what is variables and variable set. So variables help define the structure of catalog item form that will be displayed to the customer. Okay. Service catalog provides several type of variables which is also referred to as questions. And you can see this is our variable section and this is our variable set section. So let me try to create one variable inside this server catalog items. So I have clicked on new button, and now you can see this is a type field. We can select type field, single line text, multiple text, or date. We can change according to ours if we require yes, no, UI page, select box, single line text. Okay, so we can select any type of variable which we want to display in our catalog item form. So suppose I am taking a single line text and we can define the order. Suppose I am defining the order is a 100. We can set this variable as mandatory or read only or hidden. If we have selected mandatory, then read only and hidden will be disabled. Okay, so let me try to add question as suppose a field name. I will add what is the name of server. Okay, so I will click on name field. It will automatically add the variable name which I have added. So this will be the database name of this particular field, and we can define the tooltip for this field, and also we can define example text for this particular field. So I am leaving it as it is right now and moving further. So we can provide help section also under this field using this checkbox. So it is shown as always expanded show help. Okay, so type specification, we can define the width of this variables, how we can use this width, and we can define some default value also within this field, and we can control the permission visibility, whether this variable will be visible to all the users or particular users roles. Availability, like where you want to display these variables, like bundles, on order guides, on summaries, all the places you will be seeing these variables. Okay, so let me try to submit and see what happens now. So I will click on try it button, and we can see the field is starting displaying. So we can type anything here. Suppose the name of server is Linux server. Okay, so this is the form which can be built as part of catalog item, and we can click on order now to submit the catalog item request. Suppose I will click on order now. So you will see the request is being submitted. So as soon as the request is submitted, we can see the request number is created for this particular item, and you can see the request is created, and under that RITM is created. You will show in new tab. Okay, you can see this RITM is generated for this particular catalog item demo server, and we can see the variable displaying here, and as well as task is generated as part of this particular catalog item, because catalog item generally involves request item and catalog task, as I already mentioned previously. And we can see this catalog item in service portal also. This is another view where only end users will be redirecting. So let me click on order something and we will go under, see, you can see the popular items demo server. It is already started displaying here. Okay, so we can see and we can click on this item and we can see separate view how it looked previously on ITIL view, but now we will be seeing this in service portal view. As you can see, we can add our test server here and we can order now from service portal as well. So you will see that the checkout functionality is also there. Okay, now we will see how this is raised and what it is happening on backend. So you can see the demo server catalog item is raised and this flow out of the box flow is attached with this catalog item. Okay, so this is all about service portal thing in catalog items view. So let us move further and see how we can create variable set under this catalog item itself. So let me redirect to our catalog item which we have created. So this is the catalog item demo server which we have created. Okay, now I will try to create one variable set, new. So I will select it as single row variable set. Multi row variable set is like you can add multiple rows for single field. Okay, so I will select single row variable set and I will define here demo variable sets. Okay, and I will save it, and under this variable set we can define our own variables. Suppose I will create new variables like what is what is the space required. Okay, single line text I will select and I will click on mandatory. I will add order as 10 and I will click on submit. Now we can see our variable set is generated and we will click on update to redirect to our catalog item which we have created. As we can see, our variable set started displaying under our catalog item demo server. We can find and we can check how it looks. Now you can see there will be two field visible right now. Okay, so what happens is like now I will tell you what is the difference between variables and variable set. So let it load once. I will show you. As you can see, this is the variable and this is variable set. Now what is the difference between those? Because if I have created variables, what is the name of server? This cannot be utilized in other catalog items. Okay, because this is a variable. But if we want to use this variable set on multiple catalog items, we can use same variable set in multiple items. Using this edit button, we can remove this variable set from this item and we can use it in another items as well. So this is the functionality of variable set, how we can use it. Okay, now let's see what is record producers. Okay, so I will tell you what is record producers here. Record producer is nothing but it is a type of catalog item where we can raise a task based records, like we can create an incident using record producer catalog items. So I will click on new button and show you how we can create a record producer. So you can see it somewhat different form is displayed apart from catalog item. So table name is included here. So here we will see the task based record. You can see multiple tables started visible here. So let me create a record producer. Suppose I will write it as create incident. So yeah, so I will select here incident. Okay, now I will remove this owner field and I will add what it will contain. Raise an issue. So this is the description of this catalog item, and we can define the accessibility. We can select a catalog here. Again, suppose I will select a service catalog, and category I will select. Let me select any of category. Suppose I have added the category as can be help you, and generated record data portal setting. Here also we have some portal setting, hide attachment, mandatory attachment, add to watch list. Okay, so let me add a variable here. After clicking on submit, we can add icon and picture here also, and we can write our script for record producer, how you can map the values in incident table. So let me try to save it. As this form is saved, you can see. Okay, now I will try to create our variables. Now you will see the difference in this variable creation, like in catalog item. Here one field is there, map to field. So suppose I will add one variable here, like I will add a short description. Okay, I will map this short description variable to incident field with short description. Okay, so I will map it. So I will submit it. I will click on mandatory and then I will submit it. So variable is created for this record producer. Now I will try it and show you how it works. Now I will click on try it and now I will add testing from LearnIT. Okay, now I will click on submit. You will see the incident is created as part of this catalog item, and you can see the short description is mapped to this short description. Testing from LearnIT, right? So we can create a task based record in record producers. So these are the two things like record producers and catalog items. Okay, now we will go and check what is order guide and how we can use order guide. Okay, so I will redirect to order guide. I have typed here order guide. Now I am open with order guide. Now you can see existing order guide is present here. Request developer project equipment and new hire. So I will click on new hire and show you how order guide looks. So this is our order guide, and now you will see multiple rule base are added to raise a catalog item. So there are rule base will be created for all the catalog items which you have to add as part of this order guide. You can see the items is included like standard laptop, developer laptop, external monitor. So we can add under rule base, we can add our catalog items to raise. Now I will click on try it and I will show you how catalog item looks under this. So this is the basic variables which is extending to all the catalog items for basic details. So I will click on choose options. Okay, let me select appropriate group. Suppose I have selected development and clicked on choose options. You can see we have all the 5 catalog items displayed under a single order guide, right? And we can see the tabs where we are finding mandatory fields to enter: preferred email address, corp VPN, desk setup, right? So what will happen is, like, after raising, it will be creating five catalog items. Suppose there are five items here. Let me try to raise it. External monitor is selected. New email account. So this is our email. Desk setup. Okay, now I will click on checkout, and we can remove or add catalog items here. Okay, you can see the details of all the catalog items which will be raising as part of this item, and I will click on checkout. Let me redirect to this request and see how many catalog items are generated under one request. You can see there is one request created for multiple catalog items, so this is called order guide. So we can create our own order guide also. Suppose we can create order guide for uh, like laptop or computer. Suppose we are selecting a computer accessories. Under that we can select keyboard, mouse, right? So we can select multiple items as part of particular catalog item, and you can raise multiple things under single catalog under single request. Okay, so these are order guides. Hope you have understood what is order guide, catalog items, record producers, variables, variable set. Today my discussion will be on workflow, which is useful for automating the process in ServiceNow. So today I will show you what is workflow and how we can create a workflow. Okay. So today I will be covering these all sessions in current session, like workflow, parts of workflow, life cycle, properties, activities, editor bar, how to create a workflow. I will cover today in this session. So let's move further and see what is workflow. Workflow provides a drag and drop interface for automating multi-step process across the platform. Each workflow consists of a sequence of activities such as generating records, notifying users of pending approvals, or running scripts. The graphical workflow editor represents workflows visually as a type of flowchart. It shows activities as boxes labeled with information about the activity, and transitions from one activity to the next as lines connecting the boxes. Okay, so let's move further. Parts of a workflow. So workflow generally contains properties, activities, transition, exit condition, context, or versions. So in properties, we can define configuration settings such as workflow name, the table whose records the workflow acts on, and the condition under which to run it. Activities. So it will specify the sequence of operations the workflow performs, such as generating records, notifying users of pending approvals, or running scripts. Transitions. So transition depends on the condition under which we run those activities. Exit condition. Specify the condition under which to run a transition. Context. Store historical runtime information about a specific workflow run in a context record. Versions. Store historical design information about a specific workflow in a workflow version record. So let's move further in workflow lifecycle. How workflow lifecycle is starting. Workflow starts when a triggering event occurs. Common triggers include a record being inserted into a specific table, or a particular field in a table being set to a specified value. At each step in a workflow, activity is processed and an action defined by that activity occurs. At the completion of an action by an activity, the workflow checks the activity's conditions. For each matching condition, the workflow follows the transition to the next activity. When the workflow runs out of activities, the workflow is complete. Workflow context stores the execution history of the activities and transition run. The workflow version stores the design history of the activities, transitions, and exit conditions available to run. So this is the workflow like cycle, how it works as part of a record or a table where we run this workflow. Okay, so let's move further and see workflow properties and workflow activities. So workflow properties specify when to run a workflow and what record it acts on. For more information about workflow properties, we can look into workflow properties in ServiceNow docs. Okay, so let's move further for workflow activities. A workflow activity contains instructions that are processed by the workflow. An activity can include running scripts, manipulating records, waiting for a set of period of time, or logging an event. Workflow conditions determine whether or not the activity is performed. Activities can be added, removed, or rearranged. Transition can be drawn between the activities. Workflow runs activities as the user session that starts them. Workflow started from record operations will run activities as the user session that perform the record operation. Workflows started from schedules or restarted from timers run activities as the system user. Workflows started from script calls run activities as the user session that started the script. So let's move further and see what are the core workflow activities which is used in flow for automation. So approval and rollback workflow activities, condition workflow activities, notification workflow activity, notify workflow activities, subflow activities, task workflow activities, timer workflow activities, utility workflow activities. So these are the core activities will be used in workflow to perform certain actions as part of that particular record or table automation on certain conditions. Okay, so let's move further and talk about workflow editor. What workflow editor is? So workflow editor is an interface for creating and modifying workflows by arranging and connecting activities to drive process. Okay, you can manage multiple workflows in the same screen, creating custom workflow activities and use existing activities as data sources. Users with the workflow creator role can create workflows. User with workflow admin role can create, modify, delete, and publish workflows. To open the workflow editor, we will navigate to workflow editor. For more information about using the editor, we can see how we can create a workflow. So let's move further and talk about what is workflow palette. Okay. Default workflow palette contains workflow activities and existing workflows that can use as subflows. Basic workflow palette contains these tabs. So generally it includes two tabs, workflows and core. So workflows will display all the existing workflows and the created workflows, any custom workflows which is created. You can have a look under workflow session under palette. Under core activities, we can see the workflow activities which is available to all system and orchestration activities when orchestration is activated. So these are the palette which is very useful to see our workflow and add core activities as part of our workflow. So let's move further and see workflow editor title bar. So upper side of workflow there is a workflow editor title bar. When a workflow is opened in the canvas, the title bar displays the workflow name and the workflow status in italics, whether it is checked out by someone or it is already published. Okay, controls on right side of the title bar to manage the workflow. Workflow properties will open current flow properties where we can see what are the conditions added as part of that workflow and on what table it is running. So start section is there where we are running the workflow. This control is only available when workflows running on the global table that are accessible from all application scopes. Validate. This will test the workflow prior to publication. Validation detects potential problems that can prevent the workflow from publishing or cause the workflow to fail. Help icon will show the documentation for this particular workflow, how to create a workflow to their ServiceNow docs. Okay, so let's move further and see how we can create a workflow inside the ServiceNow system. And I will show you how we can attach a workflow to the catalog item and to a particular table. Okay, so let's move to ServiceNow and see how we can do these activities. So let's move further. This is my ServiceNow personal developer instance. So I will show you how we can create workflow. So let's redirect to workflow. You can see there is a workflow editor here. Under workflow there is a workflow editor. So let me click on this workflow editor and it will be opening in our new tab. Workflow editor will be opening here. So you can see these are our existing workflows that are present in our system already. So you can see there is publish, checkout, help button here. So published means like all the workflows are published will be displaying under published section. Under checkout section, workflow will be visible those who are in checked out position. Okay, so we can see this is the workflow editor title bar where we select any workflow and you will see this workflow title bar. Suppose I have clicked on change request normal. So you can see this is a workflow editor title bar where we can see the options, what all options this workflow is having. Suppose new workflow, open existing, copy workflow, checkout, delete, set inactive, expand transitions, validate workflow, show context, properties, workflow canvas help. So these are options available well in workflow editor title bar. So this is the workflow properties button. We can click here and see the properties of this workflow. Okay, you can see the properties of this workflow. This workflow is written for change request and some conditions are added. Type is normal, model is empty. Right. So let's move further. So this is workflow run button. When this enables us like when the workflow is running on global. So right now this workflow is not running on globals. That's why this button is disabled. And this is the validate button. We can validate this particular workflow whether all the activities are mapped correctly. So this will show the validation whether the workflow is correct or not. Here you can see all the things is passed, just they have provided info, they didn't provide any warning or critical. Okay, so these are all about workflow editor title bar. So this is our workflow palette where we can see workflows and core tab are visible under workflows, right? So under workflow we will find all the workflow which is present in the system. Okay, so these are list of workflows which is present in the system. Okay, and under core we can find the activities which will be used in workflow to perform certain validations or any automations, like we can generate approvals, we can create a change approval policy, we can create a conditions, if condition, wait for conditions, which conditions. Under notification we can create a notification using event, or we can directly create a notification under this workflow. On call activity is there. Okay, service catalog activity is there. We can create a script table order guide here. Subflows are there. We can launch multiple flow as part of a single flow. Task, we can create a task, like we can create any task from this workflow wherever we want it to be created. And timers, we can perform timer activity as part of SLA, how much SLA is completed. Under utilities, we can see set value, return value, run script, log message. We can create all these functions under particular activities wherever it is required. Join activity is there, branch activity is there. Okay, so these are very helpful in creating our workflows. Okay, so let's move and create catalog item or catalog item workflow first. Okay, I will show you. In previous session I have shown you how to create a catalog item, so I will be using a same catalog item to run our workflow. So let's start and create our workflow. So under home of this workflow editor, we can click on new workflow. As you can see, I have clicked on new workflow. Now I will be defining our name of this particular flow. So I will name it as catalog item flow for our item. Okay, so I will select table name. So let me select table name here. sc request underscore item. Okay, so I have selected requested item here. Okay, and we can define conditions also, but I am selecting a catalog item. On catalog item you will not get conditions to select because this workflow will be called inside catalog item itself. Okay, so stage order is computed, stage rendering is workflow driven. Okay, so let me try to submit it. As you can see, there are two out of the box activities which is already created, like begin and end. Okay, so now let us try to create some approvals or some more activities. I will show you. So let me add a approval first. Okay, so I will send this approval to line manager. So suppose I will select this activity name as line manager approval. Okay, and stage, we can set stage here. We can select stage is like waiting for approval. Okay, so condition is fine. It will when catalog item will be raised, at that point of time itself the approval will go. I will add myself for now. We can select user groups for approvals. Okay, and we can define our custom approvals as well. Suppose we want to push any particular user, so we can define our sysid under answer.push, and we can write activities also, and we can check like wait for anyone to approve, everyone to approve, first response from anyone, condition based on script. So by default anyone to approve will be selected for all the approvals. Okay, so here it is asking like when anyone rejects, what to do with approval. So we are generally rejecting the approval column, approval journal column. Okay, so let me submit it. Suppose I will add this approval activity after begin. So let me just delete this, and I will click from always to first, it will go a approval. Okay, and now what I will do as part of approval, now I will create a catalog task after my approval. So I will go under task, and I will create a catalog task for this particular item. Okay, let me give a name, create a task. So here we can define our fields, template values. We can define where this catalog task will get relocated. Suppose I will add short description as testing server. Okay, and we can assign this task to particular group also. Let me select a group here. So suppose I will select existing group application development. Okay, and here we can see if we can involve our variables on task. Okay, so right now I am ignoring it for now. Okay, and we can write a script as well for this particular catalog task. Now I will click on submit. And then under catalog task, let me add a stage for fulfillment. Okay, let me update this activity and mark it as end. So one more thing you have to keep in your mind is like this checkbox, wait for completion. This should be always be checked, because what happens is like this activity will be completed first, then it should move further. Okay, otherwise what will happen is if you make it as unchecked, it will just create a task and workflow will end. So that is not a good practice. Okay, so let it be checked all the time. Okay, so now I am setting this workflow as end. Now I will show what rejection will do. So we can set a value to our catalog task or request item to mark it as incomplete because it is rejected. Okay, now I will see what stage can be applied to this. So we can see there is an option request cancelled because this is not approved, so we can select it as request cancelled, and we can set the state. We can select stage as closed incomplete. Okay, let me submit it. And now what I will do is like I will make a connection to this set value, and this set value will mark our workflow complete. Okay, so you can rearrange those activities also so that it will look better, so you can do it yourself. Okay, so let me publish it. Until this workflow is published, you cannot create request out of this. Okay, and you can click on validate button and we can check whether the workflow is correct or not. So you can see the workflow is correct, and I will show you when this will be showing error. So let me delete this connection and I will click on validate again. So you will find some warnings. You can see there are two warnings created. This workflow contains one activity conditions without a input transitions. Similar way, here the workflow contains one activity condition without an output transition. Okay, so we can see here output transition is missing and here input transition is missing. Okay, so two warning messages displayed. So let me make it again and we can validate it again whether the workflow is correct or not. Okay, now our workflow is perfectly fine. So let me publish it. As you can see, this catalog item is published, and now I will attach this workflow under our catalog item. So let's move to our catalog item which we have created on previous session. So this is our demo server catalog item which we have created on previous session of my catalog items. So you can see in process engine some default execution plan is already added. So I will remove this and I will add our catalog item flow. Okay, so I will add our workflow here. Okay, now I will save it and try to raise this catalog item whether this workflow is running fine or not. I will show you. So let me try it. will click on order now, and we will see the approval will be triggered for this particular RITM. You can see the approval is triggered to system administrator. This is only I have defined under my workflow to go approval to me myself. So you can see as soon as the approval is there, no catalog task is generated. As soon as I will do approval for this catalog item, then task will be generated. So let me try to approve it. Okay, now you can see the requested item is approved, and we can see after approving this catalog item, the catalog task is generated. You can see assignment group is application development, short description is testing server. So we can see our workflow also how it executed. We can click on show workflow link. I have clicked on show workflow link, and we can see the workflow contest is already open here, and we can see our workflow is started, then approval is done, and I have clicked on approve buttons, so that's why it is marked it as approved, and the task is created. Okay, so until the catalog task is completed, it will be remaining running. Okay, I will show you how this workflow will be closed. So suppose this is my catalog task which I have created. Let me click on close task. Okay, now you can see the task is closed, and you will see this workflow. I will reload this workflow, and this workflow is completed. Okay, so this is all about workflow in catalog items. Now I will create a workflow on particular table. Suppose I will take an example of incident. So let me try to create another workflow for incident table. Okay, so let's click on new workflow, and we will type it as set incident description. Okay, so we want to set some incident description as per our conditions. So let me select my incident table here. Okay, I have selected incident table here. Now I can define some conditions. We can write a condition matches, run the workflow always, and we can make active true and state is new. So suppose this is my condition which I have added for tables. So previously when I have selected requested item, we didn't get this condition field because in catalog item we have to go inside the catalog item and attach our workflow, but here on independent table we can see that this workflow will direct get triggered under incident. We don't want to attach it with incident table. Okay, I will show you how this workflow will work. So let me submit it, and we will see some out of the box begin and end activities will be there already. So let me delete it, and let us add some set value function, set value activities here. Okay, now I will write as set description as my incident. So I will add description as my incident. Okay, now I will set this description field, and I will show you how this workflow will be executed on incident table. So let me add this flow and make it as published. So we don't want to do anything after publishing. We just want to go to incident table and check whether this workflow is running or not. So let me try to create new incident. So let me try to create this. As you can see, our workflow is triggered and description is set to my incident. Okay, so our workflow is triggered for this incident, right? So this is very interesting thing to automate our process in ServiceNow. So this is all about workflow. I have shown you how to create a workflow for catalog items and as well as tables. For more information, please get into my video description. Please provide your comment if you have any questions, doubts or queries related to this session. Thanks for hearing me out. Stay tuned for more videos. Please do like, share and subscribe to my channel LearnIT.